Okay, guys, what's going on? How about that dominant win against Akron? I mean, that was wow. um, First shutout we've played that we've had since what 2009 Holiday Bowl. So I think 2009 Holiday Bowl. I think was the last time we shut out a team. So wow. um, I tell you what, that makes it really, really hard. That game makes it really, really, really hard to stay objective about this team and to not drink the Kool Aid. um, like I don't even know what to say. I'm looking at. I didn't take notes during the game. I decided I was just gonna pull up some stats after the game and kind of watch this game as a fan. And it felt good. It felt good watching our team play the way they did. I bet Lincoln is rocking tonight. I mean, granted it was against Akron, who admittedly doesn't look like they're all that good, but I mean they lost to Wyoming last week 10-0. And now they've lost to us 68-0. I mean, you know, not downing Akron. I mean, I'm not gonna down them or anything, but their program definitely has some work to do. Um, we got some work to do as Nebraska. Nebraska has a lot of work to do as well. But um, you know, it's games like this that make it hard to not drink the Kool Aid, and makes me wonder about my predictions, um, and whatnot for the season. There were some issues. Don't get me wrong. There were some issues. We did have, let's see, six penalties totaling 71 yards that we lost versus Akron had the one penalty. Where is it? Oh, no, I lost it here. There it is. One penalty, so they lost like 5 yards. So, you know, yeah, we got to work on the penalties. And poor Archie. Poor Archie. Didn't get punt the ball once this game. I'm sure he's all tore up about it. But he's probably celebrating with the rest of the team right now. Celebrating a big win. Um, you know, um, and what was great is we actually got to see two of the backup quarterbacks too, which I think is really great that they got a little bit of playing time and stuff. So, Latif, he looked pretty good. He had a total of 128 yards. Didn't have any touchdowns. Didn't have any interceptions either. And his completion percentage was 86%. So I mean, not bad. And we also got to see Gramstead. You know, Gramstead or however you pronounce his name. I need to look that up. Uh, but he did pretty good too. Raiola was 24 for 31 throws, 364 yards, with 4 touchdowns, 77% completion rate, but he also got to throw more than the others did as well. Um, and you look at these stats, like these stats just they blow my mind. Like, total yards of offense, Akron only had 175. We had a whopping 728 yards of offense. Um, 62 yards were passing for Akron, 494 yards were passing for us. Akron had 113 rushing yards. We had 234. Um, Again, there's the penalties. Akron only had 13 first downs. We had 30. I mean, um, as far as first downs go. Third down conversions. Um, Akron attempted 14 first down conversions and or third down conversions, and they only were successful once. We attempted, third down conversions 10 times and were successful 8 times. Akron even tried to go for it on fourth a couple times. Well, they were only successful once. And the one time we tried to go for it on fourth, we weren't successful, but that also led to what eventually became a safety right at the beginning of the game. So, I mean, we were, 1 yard line, something like that. Fourth and goal. Might as well go for it. I'm a big fan of that. You're that close, you might as well try and push it in. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but then we ended up scoring a safety and ended up, getting the ball back anyway. So, I mean, you know, um, Akron had 59 plays, we had 73. Average yards per completion, Akron had average 6.9 yards per completion. We averaged 15.4. I mean, you just go down the list and it's ridiculous. The only stat I see that isn't like ridiculously lopsided is time of possession. Akron had 29 minutes and 50 seconds worth of possession time. We had 30 minutes and 10 seconds. So, our offense looked great. Our defense looked like they made some adjustments and made some improvements over last week. Special teams was doing their thing. It was a good win. It was a good blowout win. Um, just going through, the different stats here. I mean, let's see. Akron used 7 different receivers. We used 14. Akron used 5 different rushers. We had 8 people rushing. Um, Akron had 2 of their quarterbacks in the game. We had 3 of them in the game, 3 of ours. And it was great seeing some of these, second string players and some of these third string players and whatnot. Don't know if we got any 4th string players in there or not, but it was good seeing them because it gives us an idea of how deep the team really is. It gives us a chance to see a lot of good, a lot of things and a lot of telling things. Um, Honestly, Latif, you know, he looks pretty good. He's not quite Raiola, but he looks pretty good. Same thing with Gramstad. Gramstad looks like he's got some serious potential as well. So it was great seeing that. Um, that's weird. I don't know what that means. But like I said, it was a good game. I mean, it wasn't a nail biter. It was something that we could, really tune the team a little bit. I think that's what the coaching staff was trying to do, was kind of get the team synced up, tuned into each other. Um, it makes me very, very, very optimistic about the rest of the season. Um, let's see what they do going into Houston Christian. Going into the Houston Christian game in Memorial Stadium. This is the first of 4 official home games. So, um, it's going to be really interesting. I mean, last week it might as well have been a home game, but they're technically saying it's an away game, neutral site game, that sort of thing. That we were the away team, but let's face it, Arrowhead Stadium might as well have been Lincoln South. Um, so, I mean, there's a lot of really good positives to come from this game. Yes, do we got some stuff we need to work on? Yes. Now, looking at those 6 penalties, um, yeah, you know, some of them seemed like they were a pretty fair call. Some of them seemed like the refs might have been a little nitpicky. I'm not sure. A couple of them there's a couple I really questioned. There was a couple things the refs did that I really questioned a bit and whatnot. But all in all, I mean, I think they called it mostly fair. I mean, again, we won, so not really much to complain about there. Um, but it's just one of those things where this is the type of game that gets the team hyped. This is the type of hyped and whatnot. I think we went to this game ranked 34th in the country according to CBS Sports, and we're on. And in the poll, in the other two top 25 polls, we're receiving votes for top 25. I think we're going to be receiving even more votes after this performance. And I look to see Nebraska probably move into the upper 20s, in the rankings. I look to see this move into the top 30. I'm not saying top 25 just yet. Depends on how we do against Houston Christian. If we do good against Houston Christian, we could slip into the top 25, I think. Michigan's going to be a bit more of a challenge. Michigan's going to be a lot tougher team. I'm not sure how they did today. Let me look, see if there's a score in the Michigan game. Oh yeah, the Michigan Oklahoma game. Yeah, they were playing Oklahoma today. Wow. Maybe Michigan not quite as good as we thought. They lost to number 18 Oklahoma 24-13, and their Michigan was ranked 15th. So, maybe. Especially since how we basically tried to copy Ohio State. Ohio State won their game 70-0. So, and we won our game 68-0. So we almost copied them. I mean, So, as far as that goes, like I said, Michigan, I don't have the full stats pulled up, but I mean, I think, they lost to a top 25 team, and they're a top 25 team, and it really wasn't that bad of a loss. So, without actually looking at the full stats, I'm not really sure. I'll do a little more looking into that into Michigan, how they're doing, leading into the Michigan game. But, I think I'm going to shift my prediction on the Michigan game to being more of a 50-50. I'm still going to have them marked down as a loss, but, as a loss for Nebraska, but I'm going to I might change it to loss question mark. Just because, maybe they're not quite as good as I thought. I'm not sure. Let's see. How's Houston Christian doing? Let's see how they're doing so far this season. Wow. Yeah, they lost 20-10 against Eastern Kentucky. So they might not be so great. They're definitely not so great, But again, I think they're they're third in the Southland Conference. So yeah, they're FCS. So they're an FCS team. I got a feeling that we're going to probably see a similar performance against them that we had against Akron. So expect to see second, third, maybe even fourth string players next week. Just kind of looking at that. But yeah, like I said, this is making me really optimistic. This is what we used to do when we had these, warm up games. We just dominate whoever we were playing. Um, I can see that happening. We did that against Akron, who is FBS. You know, taking on Houston Christian as a FCS team. It could be a trap game, but I just don't see it. Um, you know, I really don't see it. I'm just looking at that score and I'm going, yeah. I don't know what the standings looks like for them because I don't follow FCS. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm going, eh, I just don't see, Houston Christian standing a chance against us next week. Anything can happen on any given Saturday, but I think we're going to see another dominant performance from Nebraska. And that's going to give us a lot of momentum going into the Michigan game. And, you know, it's going to be interesting. I expect the Michigan game to be a tight game. I expect Nebraska to at least hang in there and, be pretty tight with Michigan and whatnot in their play. Um, we got to make sure we get these penalties under control and whatnot as well. Um, I mean, compared to previous years, Nebraska's playing pretty clean, and we're not really committing a whole lot of penalties like we used to. And I think it could be very interesting. Um, let's see. And don't worry, that's not vodka, that's water. um, but yeah, like I said, I see us doing pretty well this season still. I'm not drinking the Kool Aid yet. Now we come out and we do what we did to Akron against Michigan. That's a whole another story. At that point, I might as well drink the Kool Aid. I want to now, but I'm holding back. I'm holding back. Um, like I said, looking at these stats and whatnot, for this game, we did what we should have done. But we also did way better than Las Vegas was saying, than ESPN was saying, than what CBS was saying, or any even what I thought. What I thought. I was wrong. I predicted 42-7. um, so yeah, I'm really really excited. Johnson had a great day today. He had 140 yards of rushing. Um, he had two touchdowns. His longest rushing play was 47 yards. His average was about 10 yards. I mean, Latif got a rush a couple times when he was playing. Raiola got a rush a few times. Um, Latif actually rushed in for a touchdown at one point. That was actually really cool watching him play and whatnot and do that. Um, Nelson had a pretty good day. Williams had a pretty good day. Harbor, not he didn't do so great, but he was basically brought in there to try and punch it into the end zone on fourth and goal. So you look at everybody here. Ives had a good day too. Looked like everybody had a pretty good day. Let's see here. Pull up quarter by quarter stuff here for Nebraska. Um, if there's anything noteworthy. I mean, look at big plays here. Oh yeah, Emmett Johnson, freaking rushing for 47 yards up the middle. You know, you got first down. You know, oh, you got a touchdown with that one. Yeah, that's right. You know, back in the first quarter and whatnot, 47 yards up the middle, up the trench. Like, that's, you know, again, you look at everything here, like, you know, I mean, you just look at everything and it's just like, holy crap, you know. Like, I mean, what do we get for penalties? Okay, so Akron had, and it's still on Nebraska. Okay. So Nebraska had two offensive penalties, a holding and a legal block in the back. I'm not sure what our player was doing there, blocking in the back like that. I mean, that undid a bunch of yards that we would have gained and whatnot. Um, Holding charge, I saw that and I was like, maybe. Um, on defense, we had a holding penalty that resulted in a first down for Akron. We had pass interference that resulted in a first down for Akron. That was 15 yards. The face mask call, I remember this one because I watched the replay and I was like, to me, and from the angle they showed, it looked like, he was trying to get his arms around the guy and his hand just kind of, ended up in the guy's face. It looked like maybe a fingertip caught. It didn't look like it was a intentional face mask. It didn't. It looked like it was more inadvertent contact. Um, I'm not really sure that should have been a penalty. I think that was more a case of the ref was getting a little nitpicky. And then we had that pass interference, and whatnot. I mean, I look at these penalties and I'm like, not sure on some of these penalties. I mean, but all in all, I mean, it really wasn't bad. Two offensive penalties and four defensive penalties. Keep in mind our defense. There's a lot of new players. The D line is very young. Um, they got some experience they need to be building and whatnot, and they're going to learn some lessons. So I mean, looking at that, yeah, not that bad. Not that bad. I mean, the illegal block in the back. Mm, that one was kind of stupid. Um, but it is what it is. Let's see. Any noteworthy stats from Akron? Not really. I'm kind of wondering if they actually brought their actual football team. I'm not sure, but no. I mean, Akron, in their defense, I mean they're a program that's definitely trying to build, and unfortunately, they got a long road ahead of them and whatnot. But I think someday we might see Akron climb up the rankings and actually maybe be a halfway decent team. This I don't think it's this season the way they're starting out and what I saw in the game. But I mean, did they really even have any big plays? What was their biggest plays here? Let's see. Anything good? Nothing really like what Nebraska had. Unfortunately, I mean, well, unfortunately for them, for us, I mean, hey, and of course, they had that false start penalty. But all in all, I mean, Nebraska had a really, really good night, and I think we should take this win, take the lessons we need to learn from it, and learn those lessons. I think that's what the players need to do, and let's see what happens against Houston Christian. I mean, I think we're going to dominate them. In fact, I'm kind of leaning towards even bigger score outcome against Houston Christian. We got to take this one game at a time, guys, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do this season is take it one game at a time and, take it week by week and just see what Nebraska does. I mean, I think they're going to do really well this season. How well is yet to be seen, but I'm looking at some of my, predictions here and going, if we dominate Houston Christian the way we did Akron, or even do even better, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of momentum going into the Michigan game. There's, I was kind of saying 60-40 in favor of Michigan, as far as the likelihood of, the likely results. 60% chance of Michigan's going to win, 40% chance Nebraska's going to win. Now I'm kind of more at a 55-45 split. As far as percentage, chances of winning goes. So still in favor of Michigan on that game, but the fan of me is, the Nebraska fan of me is really, really, really starting to lean, Nebraska's way as far as this stuff goes. That being said, I want to do a quick little shameless ad real quick. Shameless promotion or whatever. Right now, my website, housejoyglassworks.com, is on our glass jewelry is running a 65% off sale. That runs until shortly before this month ends. After that, sale ends, keep in mind there is a promotion code for viewers. The code is Go Big Red, 65% off the entire store as well. So hop on the website, check things out. Maybe you'll see something you want right now, or maybe you'll see something you want later. Definitely check it out. My prices are fairly low, so yeah, definitely check that out. Like I said, housejoyglassworks.com. The link will be in the description below. I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. Hang on one second. Alexa, be quiet. I wasn't talking to you. Sorry. That happens every once in a while. It is what it is. Alexa likes to butt in sometimes.
Sorry, I didn't find the group or device named Lights.
Anyways. Yeah, with that, go Big Red. I'll see you all probably Friday for a prediction video for the Houston Christian game. Though I've covered some of that already. I'm going to get some more stats. I'm going to get some more information, give you a more accurate prediction. With that, I'm going to hop off here. You all have a good night. Go Big Red, and I'll catch y'all later.